news, the ruler of Eritrea, Isaias Afwerki, appeared in an interview a few hours ago, a long interview, 3 hour long interview. He was interviewed by Ethiopian state television. An important interview because he made several important points about ongoing Ethiopia-Tigray conflict. He talked about Sudan, about a tripartite Eritrea, Ethiopia, Somali agreement. He talked about Western intervention, US intervention in Ethiopia, in Africa too. We'll have a look at the main points which he discussed regarding the ongoing conflict in Ethiopia and Sudan too. Firstly, he claimed that Tigray People Liberation Front had selected 100 targets to hit in Eritrea on the 4th of November. He said that on the 3rd of November, Tigray forces stormed Northern Command headquarters and then thousands of Ethiopian government soldiers crossed into Eritrea. He said around 5,000 Ethiopian government soldiers on the 3rd of November crossed into Eritrea after TPLF's attack on Northern Command bases on the 3rd of November in Tigray. And then Tigray Defense Force, TPLF, had selected 100 targets to attack in Eritrea. That is why Eritrea intervened militarily in Tigray. So he tried to justify Eritrean military intervention in Tigray. Now my question, viewers, is how will you prove? How will you prove that Tigray wanted to hit 100 targets in Eritrea? Yes, Tigray did fire some missiles on Asmara, but it happened in the second week of November 2020. I think it was the end of the second week of November 2020 when Tigray fired some missiles on Asmara, Eritrea. And before the firing of these missiles, Eritrea was already part of this war. Eritrean forces were shelling Humra. And I think on the 7th or 8th of November 2020, shelling from Eritrea side of the border on Tigray was confirmed. Even some UN bodies also confirmed back then. So we cannot say that the intervention was due to the two missiles or a few missiles fired from Tigray on Eritrea. It was planned before the start of this war. Secondly, he criticized the withdrawal of Ethiopian National Defense Force at the end of June, when we know that ENDF withdrew from Central Tigray and from obviously then from Mekelle and other places too. Eritrean forces also withdrew. He said this withdrawal of Ethiopian National Defense Force was unexpected for Eritrea. Why? Why was it unexpected? Which other targets should have been achieved? I think Isaias seems to be saying that that was the time to strike a final blow to TPLF. TPLF members were in Tambian. Tambian was encircled. Central Tigray was encircled. So Eritrean and ENDF forces they should have tried to continue the siege and eliminate TPLF. That is what he means, I personally think. Thirdly, he then criticized TPLF and Tigray forces, saying that their strategy to advance towards Dasi Kambolcha was very faulty due to problems like supply lines. And fourthly, viewers, he talked about Dassi and Kambolcha. He said Tigray forces and Ethiopian government forces were playing Tom and Jerry games in Dassi and Kambolcha. What does he mean by Tom and Jerry games? Well, I think I covered that when Tigray forces got close to Dassi Kambolcha, ENDF Amhara forces, they withdrew from Dassi Kambolcha. There was no fighting inside Dassi Kambolcha. And same happened when ENDF and Amhara forces, they moved towards Kambolcha from North Shore. TDF withdrew from Kambolcha. Dassi withdrawal was largely peaceful. That is what I have been saying. Withdrawal of Tigray forces from Dassi, Kambolcha, North Shore was largely peaceful. He seems to be against this largely peaceful withdrawal. He says it was a cat and mouse game, Tom and Jerry game. He means to say that that was the time to strike another decisive blow to Tigray forces when they were starting to withdraw from Dassi Kambolcha. So he seems to be implying that in Tambian, TPLF could have been crushed. In Dassi Kambolcha, TPLF could have been crushed, but Ethiopian government forces withdrew early from Tigray, and they kept on playing games in Dassi Kambolcha. They did not engage the withdrawing forces. That is what I have concluded from what he's saying. And lastly, viewers, he once again talked about ethnic federalism and Ethiopian constitution. He has always been against Article 39 of the constitution, which gives the right to the regions to secede. And he has been against ethnic federalism too. Once again, he opposed ethnic federalism, and this opposition, this expression of opposition is coming at a very crucial time when Ethiopia is about to start national dialogue. So he is openly opposing ethnic federalism and Article 39 of Ethiopian constitution, and we might see some progress towards the removal of this article in upcoming dialogue. He seems to be telling Ethiopian politicians, Ethiopian parties, that they should get rid of ethnic federalism and Article 39 of the Constitution. Lastly, he again avowed his support for Ethiopia. He said Ethiopian problems were complex, but Eritrea will not let Ethiopia fall. That we know, that Isaias and Abiy, they are on the same page. Their survival is linked. They'll support each other. Isaias will support PM Abiy's government. He said that the tripartite agreement signed among Somalia, Eritrea, and Ethiopia is the key to stability in the Horn of Africa. Western powers want to intervene, US wants to intervene in the Horn, and the countries should remain united. He criticized Sudan. He said there were too many brokers in Sudan. He does not like majority, I think. He likes decisions which are taken by a few men. On Ethiopia, he spoke a lot. On TPLF, he spoke a lot. And he seems to be saying, we can sum up that TPLF could have been crushed in Tambian. It could have been crushed in Dassi Kambolcha, but it was not crushed. Now he's talking about political developments. By the way, if he is saying that TPLF could have been crushed in Tambian, will he back the release of TPLF prisoners, which Ethiopian government has announced? I don't think so. I don't think so, because his interview indicates that he is in support of elimination of Tigray People Liberation Front. Militarily, if it is not possible, then politically he would like TPLF to be sidelined. And that is why he talked openly against ethnic federalism and the right to secede in Ethiopian constitution. These issues might come under discussion in the upcoming national dialogue. Thank you for watching.